If you have ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, pay attention, because betrayal can be the biggest sign that you are a chosen one. But what almost no one tells you is that this is not a coincidence. There is a dark secret behind this, and today you will discover the truth that can change your view of everything. I will divide this secret into 6 points to make it easier to understand. 1. The nature of divine choice and tests of faith. Being chosen by God does not mean having an easy journey. On the contrary, it is a path of intense trials, tests of faith, and moments when everything seems to be against you. This can be difficult to understand, especially when you experience situations of injustice, persecution, and even betrayal from people close to you. But there is something you need to know. Every struggle, every tear, and every moment of solitude are part of a greater plan. Often the chosen ones feel isolated, as if they do not belong anywhere. This happens because there is a special purpose in their lives, something that sets them apart from the rest. Think of Joseph, a young man who was betrayed by his own brothers and sold into slavery. The pain of rejection, injustice, and abandonment could have destroyed him, but in the end, it was precisely this journey that led him to his divine purpose. What seemed like a series of misfortunes was, in fact, training for something great. And perhaps you are going through exactly that. Do you feel like your life is a succession of unexplained difficulties? That everything around you falls apart just as you are about to achieve something important? This is no coincidence. The enemy will always try to block those who have a powerful calling, because he knows that once you awaken to who you really are, nothing can stop you. The tests of faith do not come to destroy you, but to strengthen you. God does not choose the capable, He empowers the chosen. And this empowerment goes through processes that often hurt. But if there is one thing that needs to be engraved in your heart, it is that every tear has a purpose. Every betrayal, every closed door, every desert you cross is a preparation. Just as gold is refined in the fire, the chosen ones are molded through difficulties so that they can carry the weight of the mission they have been given. And why so many attacks? Why so many trials? Because you have something that many do not, a divine purpose. Your presence is disturbing. Your light shines in a way that provokes reactions in people. Some will try to bring you down, others will not be able to stand being around you. But this is no reason to give up. On the contrary, it is a sign that you are on the right path. And this is where many fail. They allow weariness, fear, and doubt to distance them from what God has for their lives. But if you have come this far, it was not by chance. God is calling you to something greater. The question is, are you ready to remain firm, even when everything seems contrary? Many are called, but few are chosen. And the chosen are tested in ways that few could bear. But the reward comes to those who persevere. Look back and realize how many times you have been delivered, how many situations that seemed impossible have been transformed. This is not luck, this is purpose. The path of the chosen has never been easy, but there is a reason for that. Now, I need to tell you something important. This message came to you for a purpose, and if you felt this calling, don't ignore it. Subscribe to the channel right now and continue receiving these revelations, because the truth is that the world tries to silence the chosen ones. But here, we know the truth, and we continue on this mission together. Are you ready to take this next step? 2. By do the chosen attract betrayal? Since the beginning of time, the chosen ones have always attracted intense trials, and among them, betrayal is one of the most painful. But why? What is it about the chosen ones that makes those around them, often those closest to them, turn their backs? There are deep spiritual reasons behind this, and today we will explore each of them. The truth is, if you were chosen, your life will never be ordinary. Ever since you were little, you've noticed that something about you bothers others. Maybe you felt envious looks, gratuitous attacks, inexplicable rejections. This is no coincidence. Your light disturbs those who live in darkness. And as has happened so many times throughout history, those who carry a divine purpose are often targets of betrayal, precisely because they represent something greater. Have you ever wondered why some people around you seem to root for your failure, even for no apparent reason? The reason is in its essence. The enemy always tries to impede the purpose of the chosen ones. He acts through envy, jealousy, misunderstanding, and above all, betrayal. Jesus was betrayed by someone who was by his side, Judas, someone who shared important moments with him, someone who seemed trustworthy. And what does this teach us? That betrayal doesn't come from far away, it comes from close by. Often, the one you helped the most, the one you trusted with your secrets, is the one who will stab you. This happens because the enemy uses those closest to you to try to destroy you, as they know this has a much greater impact. If you've been through this, know that you're not alone. This is part of your calling. The chosen are not betrayed because they are weak, but because they are strong. The enemy does not waste time on anyone who does not threaten his plans. And you are a threat. Your mission is great, your purpose is powerful, and that is exactly why you attract so many trials. But remember, each betrayal is not an end. It's a sign. It's God showing you who really should be by your side and who needs to get out of your way. Every disappointment is a protection in disguise. Maybe you gave your best to someone and they simply turned their back on you. Maybe you trusted someone who at the first opportunity exposed you, attacked you, or spoke badly about you. This hurts, I know, but look at it with different eyes. Betrayal does not diminish the chosen one. It strengthens him. Every time someone betrays you, something inside you becomes stronger because God uses even pain to shape you. He is preparing you for something much greater. Now, I want to know, have you ever experienced a betrayal that marked your life? Write in the comments the phrase, "I am chosen and I remain firm," so we can see how many here share this same journey. And if you know someone who is going through this right now, send them this video. Sometimes all a person needs is to understand that this pain is part of the process and that they are not alone. 3. The types of betrayal the chosen face. Those chosen always face challenges that most people cannot even imagine, and one of the most painful is betrayal. But why does this happen? Why are those called to a greater purpose repeatedly stabbed in the back by those close to them? The answer to this is not simple, but it is necessary. Personal betrayal is perhaps what hurts the most. Friends, family, people who grew up alongside you are often the first to doubt, criticize, and move away. This is because its light bothers those who still live in darkness. When you start down a path of growth, development, and purpose, many around you can't handle it, not because they are bad, but because their evolution exposes their limitations. Have you ever felt that some people treat you differently, as if you no longer belong to their circle? This is no coincidence. The spiritual world manifests itself in relationships, and its high energy repels those who are not ready to join it. But that doesn't mean you should erase yourself. On the contrary, it is a sign that you need to continue. Professional betrayal is also a test that many chosen ones face. People trying to pull the rug out from under you, sabotage opportunities being taken away without explanation. This happens because their presence represents a threat to those who are not willing to truly grow. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to feel jealous even before you achieve success? This is because your essence already carries greatness even before it fully manifests. Spiritual leaders, influential personalities, and great figures have always gone through this. Because being chosen means having something that others desire, but that few are willing to achieve with effort and purpose. If you have ever wondered why you face so many difficulties in your professional path, know that this is no coincidence. You have been called to a purpose that goes beyond what others can understand, and this always attracts resistance. But the deepest betrayal, the one that truly tests your faith, is spiritual betrayal. Imagine following a calling, believing you are on the right path, and suddenly those who should guide you begin to question your mission. This can come from religious leaders, mentors, or even your own mind when doubt tries to creep in. The chosen ones always go through moments of spiritual crisis when everything seems uncertain. It's at these moments that many people give up because they don't understand that this is one of the biggest trials. Even Jesus was betrayed, not only by Judas, but by Peter, who denied him, and by the Pharisees, who condemned him. This shows that betrayal is part of the journey, and it doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. On the contrary, it means that you are in the exact place where you are supposed to be. The big question is, how to overcome these betrayals? How do you continue when the people you trusted most turn their backs on you? First, you need to understand that betrayal is not an end, but a beginning. It reveals who is really on your side, who understands your mission, and who was just there out of convenience. Secondly, it is essential not to hold grudges. Resentment is a weight that only delays your growth. If you've been through this, comment here how you managed to overcome this phase. Your experience can help others who are facing the same challenge. Another way to deal with this is to understand that every betrayal carries a lesson. Look back and see the times you were betrayed. What did you learn from this? Have you become stronger, wiser, more selective? These pains shape the chosen one for their true mission. Maybe at that moment it was difficult to understand, but today you can see that it was a release, a growth. And if you are still in the midst of this pain, know that soon you will understand the purpose of it all. Betrayal is inevitable, but your reaction to it is a choice. You can let it destroy you, or you can use it as a stepping stone to your next level. Many people try to bring you down because they know that if you keep going, nothing can stop you. If you feel that your journey has been marked by betrayals, I want you to write in the comments, "I remain firm in my purpose." This will not only strengthen your resolve, but also show others that they are not alone. Now, you may be wondering, what about those who betrayed me? What happens to them? The answer is simple. Time reveals everything. Life takes care of each one according to their choices. Whoever sows betrayal reaps loneliness. Whoever sows envy reaps failure. But you who remain firm will reap the reward of your loyalty to your purpose. Never forget, your journey does not depend on anyone's approval. Your calling comes from God, and He will never abandon you. 4. How to overcome the pain of betrayal and stay on purpose. Have you ever wondered why, just when you are about to achieve something great, betrayal comes your way? This is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. There is a dark secret behind the betrayal, a mystery that few understand, but which is directly linked to the fate of those who were chosen. Betrayal is not the end, but a sign, an indication that you are being shaped into something greater. If you have ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, by people who were by your side and suddenly turned their back, know that this is part of a divine process that many do not understand. Think about David. Before becoming king, he was betrayed, persecuted, humiliated. Joseph, before becoming governor of Egypt, was sold by his own brothers. Jesus, before fulfilling his mission, was betrayed by Judas. Do you notice the pattern? The chosen one will always face betrayal. This is because betrayal is part of the process of purification, strengthening, preparation. God does not allow betrayal to destroy you, but to elevate you, to tear away from you those who can't go with you to the next level. People who could become a burden, an obstacle to your mission. And yes, it hurts. It hurts. It corrodes the soul. But it is necessary. The enemy knows who you are. He sees the anointing on your life, and his strategy is not to attack you directly, but to make those you love become instruments against you. Betrayal is the tool that the opponent uses to try to divert you from your purpose. And here's the big secret. He only attacks those who have something valuable. If you have faced betrayal, it means that you carry a calling, a great purpose. Ordinary people do not face extraordinary attacks. If your battle has been intense, it is because your victory will be gigantic. Maybe you are going through a moment of questioning. Maybe you've asked yourself, why did this happen to me? I only did good. I was loyal. I was truthful. And yet I was stabbed in the back. But today, I want to tell you something that may change your perception. God allowed this pain so that you could be prepared. He took away from you those who could not bear the brightness of your victory. He allowed the chaff to separate from the wheat. Those who were at your side out of convenience cannot be at your side in your exaltation. Betrayal was the sieve, and now what lies ahead is the harvest. So instead of asking, why did this happen to me, and ask yourself, what does God want to teach me through this? Because the answer to this question could be the turning point in your life. If you understand that betrayal did not come to destroy you, but to promote you, you stop being a victim of pain and become the protagonist of your story. You realize that this wound, which hurts so much today, will be the scar that will bear a powerful testimony in the future. And here is a truth that few have the courage to say: betrayal not only reveals who others are, it also reveals who we are. In moments of pain, we have the choice to become bitter or stronger. We can close ourselves off, become suspicious, cold people, or we can use this experience as fuel to grow, to become even more focused on our purpose. You were chosen for something great, and those chosen need to go through processes that others don't go through. You were separated, shaped in fire, shaped by pain, because there is something much greater waiting for you. Believe me, there is a divine purpose behind all of this, and I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a betrayal that made you question your path? Share in the comments because your story can empower others who are going through this right now. And remember, betrayal is never the end of the journey of the chosen ones, but rather a milestone, a sign that something greater is to come. 5. The spiritual benefits of being cheated. You may even think that the betrayal was an accident, an injustice, an unexpected blow. But what if I told you that this betrayal was already written in your destiny? What if, instead of a punishment, it was a deliverance? The truth is that those chosen always go through intense trials. It's no wonder that you feel that life always tests you, that the people around you don't always show the loyalty you expected. That's because there is something bigger at stake, something that is beyond what human eyes can see. God, the universe, or the spiritual force that governs your journey is shaping you, and one of the most powerful tools for this is betrayal. It seems harsh to say this, but pay attention. Anyone who has never been betrayed has never been tested, and those who have never been tested have never been prepared for something great. Do you think it's a coincidence that the people who grew the most spiritually were those who faced devastating betrayals? No, this is not a coincidence, it's purpose. Jesus himself, the greatest example of love and purity, was betrayed. Do you really think this was just a mistake of fate? No, Judas was part of the plan. Just like every betrayal you suffered is part of your growth. Chosen people are separated from an early age, and what happens to those who are separated? It attracts looks, envy, falsehood, masked intentions. When you begin to shine, those who cannot stand your light try to extinguish it. But pay close attention. Betrayal is not the end, it is the beginning. God allows certain people to betray you so that you understand who is really on your side. It's a divine filter. He doesn't want you to carry unnecessary weight into your next phase. You know those people you thought were friends, but deep down they were jealous of you. Well, God already knew that, and to free you from them, He allowed you to be betrayed. And do you know why it hurts so much? Because betrayal almost never comes from a stranger. It comes from those you trusted. It comes from that friend who said they supported you, from that family member who smiled at you, from that person who held your hand when you needed it most, and then stabbed you in the back. But here's the secret. The greater the pain, the greater the learning. Betrayal awakens your spiritual vision. Once you go through this, you start to see people for who they really are. You learn to differentiate who is with you out of love and who is with you out of interest. You stop being naive, stop trusting blindly, stop offering your heart to those who don't deserve it. This is one of the greatest gifts a chosen one can receive, the wisdom to recognize who really belongs in their circle. Now I want you to stop for a moment and think, how many times have you been cheated on? And what happened after that? If you analyze it calmly, you will see that every betrayal brought a turning point in your life. Sometimes it was a betrayal that turned you away from a destructive path. Other times it was a betrayal that pushed you into a new cycle, forcing you to grow, making you seek your inner strength. This is what happens to the chosen ones. They never lose, they just learn. You were not betrayed to be destroyed. You were betrayed because you were ready for a higher level. God used this pain to strengthen you. And here's an important detail. Cheaters think they're winning when they cheat on you. They believe they brought you down. They believe they made you fail. But little do they know that they were just instruments in their evolution process. Whoever betrayed you may even think they hurt you, but in fact they helped you. They may laugh now, but soon they will see that they have only propelled you to a new level. And you know what's most incredible? God always exalts the chosen ones at the right time. So, while they were betraying you, God was already preparing your victory. You don't need to take revenge. You don't need to put yourself down. Just go your way. Divine justice never fails. If you are listening to this and felt that this message spoke directly to you, comment here, I am a chosen one, and this betrayal was my deliverance. I want to see how many chosen ones are here, because I know that this message did not reach you by chance. 6. Have you ever noticed that every time you're about to take a big step in your life, someone comes along and tries to knock you down? Have you ever noticed how, when you start to shine, certain people get upset and do everything they can to turn off your light? This is no coincidence. Betrayal is part of the destiny of the chosen ones, but not as a punishment, but as a clear sign that you have been separated for something greater. Since ancient times, the chosen have always faced betrayal. Joseph was sold by his own brothers, Jesus was handed over by Judas, and even David was betrayed by those who were supposed to protect him. And do you know why? Because Darkness recognizes light even before it shines completely, and when she realizes its potential, she tries to erase it before it becomes uncontrollable. That's exactly what happens to you. People who betray you are instruments to push you towards your purpose. They cannot support the greatness that you carry, and that is why they try to weaken you before you take ownership of your calling. But pay attention, betrayal doesn't diminish you, it makes you stronger. You may be wondering, why is this happening to me? I'm a good person, I'm loyal, I've always helped those around me. And that's exactly why. The chosen ones always go through the greatest trials because they are prepared to carry something that few can bear. God does not allow you to face these pains for nothing. Every betrayal, every injustice, every rejection has a purpose. Have you ever noticed that it was exactly after the biggest betrayals in your life that you became stronger, that you have matured, that you learned to trust God more than people? The dark secret that no one tells you is that betrayal is a divine tool to position you where you should be. Joseph would never have reached the palace if he had not been sold into slavery. Jesus would not have fulfilled his mission if Judas had not handed him over. What seems like an injustice is in fact a redirection. God is taking out of your life those who cannot go with you to the next level. Don't hold on to the feeling of hurt or anger. They just fulfilled their role in your story. And I know it hurts. It hurts when someone you trusted turns their back. It hurts when someone you helped is the first to stab you. It hurts when those who should support you are the ones who support you the most. But understand this, betrayal is a watershed. It separates those who are really with you from those who are just there out of interest. It opens your eyes to who deserves to be by your side when your victory comes. God is clearing your path so that you can achieve what He has already prepared for you. If this video moved you, then the next one will open your eyes even more. There's something almost no one realizes about betrayal in the lives of the chosen ones, and it could be exactly what's happening to you right now. Click on the next video before it's too late. The truth that no one told you about the attacks you have suffered is there. Do not ignore this call. Watch now and discover what is really behind the betrayal of the chosen ones.